This morning's Carolina People is coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Murrells Inlet office of America's largest telephone cooperative, HTC. We're focused on bilingual connections, and we're visiting with its founder, Miriam Berouet. How are you, Miriam?
Fine, thank you.
Thanks so much for coming in early on a Tuesday morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
A great opportunity to learn more about bilingual connections, which just kicked off. You shared with us earlier this morning the first of the year.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's something that I've thought about for several years. I think there's a need in the county, and you're absolutely right. We just kicked off in January, and I'm pleased to say things are going well.
Ramping up fast.
Yes, they are.
And you said you've been thinking about it for years. What finally got you to commit to do it now?
Well, I'm the former director of the Hispanic Business Center at Horry Georgetown Technical College.
Right.
And having always been involved in the Hispanic community, even when it wasn't part of my job, you know, as the population increased, I could see that there was a need for several different things. Training for large companies that have large Hispanic clientele that go through there, training in the court system, the police force, cultural training, diversity training, understanding the culture that you're working with and trying to service is a key component.
Right.
As far as productivity and as far as business.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Miriam, just hearing you talk is exciting because you're surely covering a lot of bases there.
Yes, and there, like I said, there's a great need in Horry County, and as far as I know, this is the first type of company of this sort in Myrtle Beach.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That covers all of that. There
Yes.
are some translation
Right.
and other companies in the area.
Right. And another thing that my company is focusing on doing, we are very much about marrying the two communities together, fostering an understanding between the two communities. So not only do I approach American companies with my services, I approach Hispanic companies as well. Because just like there's a need to maybe learn some Spanish to better service your clients, because we're all about the bottom line.
Right,
And if you can better service your clients, then you'll have more clients coming to that location or to you. But at the same time, to improve the communication and understanding, I also approach Hispanic companies and teach them workplace English, where I would teach an American company workplace Spanish.
Yeah.
And what that basically is you don't go through the formal routine of learning a language. You go through the routine of basically learning a phrase that you can learn today and use tomorrow. Because as adults, as business owners, as people who have hectic schedules, it's very difficult to go through formal training or even, dedicate maybe 2 years to get a degree.
Sure.
Because we're here to work, we're here to make money, and we're here to support our families. And, a lot of people do not have that amount of time to dedicate, even though they would love to. So my company offers concise training that you can do it in a month's time to give you some basic terminology and phrases that you can use. And then provided if you have more time and want to expand, then we can offer you different levels.
Does your company, Miriam, normally go to the client, or do they come to you? Let's say even HTC here. I mean, do you go
We go to the client because, again, we want to help the company save on their time. Save on the time that the employee is going to be away from their job.
Sure.
And, we tell the companies that they have several different branches, such as HTC, to combine, maybe 1 or 2 people from the different branches that they have. And then we pick a day and time that's convenient to the schedule and to the company, because companies knows when their peak days are and peak times.
Sure.
And then we have the class on site so that, again, it lessens the time that the employee is going to be away from the company.
Have you seen a good reception from the Hispanic community, being willing to recognize how important it is for them to learn some basic English?
Yes, definitely. And that's another myth that I would like to clarify. It's not that the Hispanics are here and don't want to learn English. That's not the case at all. Again, it's the time constraint. Again, it's sometimes having and knowing where to go. And then again, it's needing the level of English that you need for what you do. So yes, it has taken off in the Hispanic community as well. The people who have come and taken my courses have been business owners, and they like to know things about writing contracts, spelling out numbers, because they know how to say the numbers, but when you're writing a check or doing a contract and making sure that they're presenting everything correctly, that's what they come to me for.
Excellent.
And it's interesting on both sides of the house when you're learning the language how important a role culture plays, because from the Hispanic community there are certain cultural things that they have to know and understand, such as how important time and schedules are to an American patron. Because the old saying, we're slaves to the clock, and we are, because we have such hectic schedules. So a half an hour makes a difference in a person's entire day or entire schedule. So just really making that hit home to the Hispanic community, because they're a little bit more relaxed on the issue of time. Also,
is that because they put more time in, or they're willing to commit more time, or why would that be, you think?
That's part of it, but the thing is too is that, like, let's say somebody was supposed to meet with you, and they see me and my car is pulled off to the side of the road, and my hood is up. Well, friendships and personal relationships have more value. So in that case, that person would stop to make sure that I was okay, and if I didn't need anything, and then come and meet with you afterwards. So in an effort, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, that's admirable.
But in an effort to, I guess, meet in the middle with that, what I try to teach is that now everyone has a cell phone. So just make sure that you call the person and let them know that you're going to be running maybe a half an hour behind or an hour behind. And if that person still has time to see you, or if it would be better to reschedule. Another cultural thing is leaving a message. One of my students that took one of my classes, who was Hispanic, said to me, we always know when an American's calling, because if we don't pick up the phone right away, we'll get a beep instantly letting us know that there was a message left. But culturally, it's not indoctrinated into their culture to leave messages, because they want to talk to you personally. So if you don't pick up the phone, they won't leave a message.
They'll rarely leave a message.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So it's really important to impart and let that community know that you need to leave a message, because we could be busy, and it's not that we don't want to call you back, but leave us a message, leave us what it is that you need or what you need to find out, and we will call you back.
Yes, Miriam.
So
that's tremendous.
It's interesting, and again, culture plays a big role. And as far as productivity, if you have Hispanic employees that you're supervising, culturally, we're taught that if we work together, we work faster and produce a better job. I did a training for a hotel, and the supervisor was saying, well, I don't know why, the girls that I send up to the 5th floor always end up working together, when I really want one to clean one side of the hall and the other one to clean the other side of the hall. But after asking him a few pertinent questions, such as, are their rooms up to par? Do they take longer than the other girls? Is there a problem with their work? And he consciously thought about it and said, well, no, there isn't. Then I explained to him that culturally it's because, we're taught that if we work together, we do a better job, and we finish faster. So then, when he understood that, then it was okay.
Listen up, Miriam. That's tremendous. Speaking of that, if a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family off to school, what's the best way to reach you to learn more about Bilingual Connections and find out if you can make an impact on their business?
Well, the best way to reach me would be to call me, which, of course, the area code here is 843-222-0084.
Okay, good. 222-0084. I think you said earlier this morning if a viewer wanted to send you an email, they could do that.
If they wanted to send me an email, it's Miriam, Miriam, at bilingualconnections.com.
Okay. Okay, that's fantastic. 222-0084 or Miriam at bilingualconnections.com.
Yes.
Real easy. How exciting, Miriam, to think about it. And of course, when you talk about, in speaking about the Hispanic community, at times you use the word we. And so to a great degree, you consider yourself as tied into the Hispanic community as the North American community.
Well, yes, I do, and there are several reasons for that. Is because I come from an interesting background. My parents are from the West Indies, which means that we're West Indian and we come from the Caribbean. And Hispanic community, Latino community, and Caribbean community are very much married and
is that right?
Almost parallel.
Oh, wow.
And another thing that's interesting about that is that actually Hispanic culture is very similar to Southern culture. And I'll give you a prime example.
Yeah.
There were companies that were sending their top sellers over to Latin American countries,
Right.
and they were not producing or selling at the level that they were in the U.S. And they wanted to find out what was going on, that these top sellers, these people who were on top of their game, what was going on that it wasn't occurring the same way in these Latin American countries.
Yeah.
Well, what had happened is that when you go over there, you are not really to discuss business until your client brings up business. So basically, similar to Southern culture, you know, when you come in there, you have to chat a little bit.
Right.
You have to say hello. You have to have a cup of coffee. You have to, ask how the family is.
A little sweet tea. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then when that's brought up, then you can go into business. We had grown up in Germany, my brother and I, before we moved to South Carolina.
Right.
And one of the things that I had to learn and become indoctrinated into Southern culture was that when I went to high school here, one of my friends was saying that, well, Miriam, you don't really speak. And I said, I don't speak.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what exactly does that mean? I said, I always say good morning or hello. And they were like, yes, but you don't stop to chat.
Oh, wow.
So I had to learn to, saying hello wasn't just sufficient. I needed to stop and chat and ask.
What an insightful friend! Yeah.
So it is interesting.
That really is,
and it's a gift, I think, learning about different cultures and different areas and knowing what works.
That's tremendous, Miriam. Well, thank you. I mean, as you think about the cultures coming together, you see that real. Is there ever any undue scrutiny? I mean, oftentimes we've seen the political spheres, whether it's in the daily newspaper or on the air. Do you ever get any negative feedback about trying to bring the cultures together?
We do get negative feedback. I was the former president of Latino Americanos en Acción, which was the only community-based nonprofit organization that was here to help the Hispanic community, to help acculturate the Hispanic community. We did things from like simply translating a letter that was sent home from an elementary school student to their parents, and the parents didn't speak English, to, serving as interpreters in the hospital system if somebody was in the emergency room.